Welcome in.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Joe Morley, Warzone Sports Network, mock draft Monday. We're gonna try to make this a weekly thing that every week we try to bring new people in. You guys can see the board. We kind of got better on that. Now you can actually see the board. Like we got some good names in here. If you guys don't know already, Clock Management, who's going to be joining us tonight. After this, welcome to the Warzone. Mike and I sit down with Clock Management. He's actually drafted number 2. Tony Tucker, who's going to be here in a little bit, is drafted number 1 overall. I somehow got talked into number 3 overall. 7 from our fantasy boot camp. We'll go number 4. Bolstered Up Sports from Sports Force. You guys know him. We'll go number 5. What is that? Fantasy Football Scoop is 6. Piggy from the other co-host on Fantasy Boot Camp is number 7. He got lucked out. He had number 1. He wanted us to randomize it, so he got lucky. Jay the Plug, who has a big interview tomorrow with Ian Rappaport coming out. He's at number 8. Our guy, the Fantasy Football Therapist, is number 9. We love him. He's great work there. The Fantasy Fact Hub is in here at number 10. Ground and Pound, I don't know who that is. He's number 11. And Joe Sucks, who is Mike, is number 12. Mike, did you want that number 12?
No, but I will say this. I've only won a few championships in my short fantasy career, and all of them have been from like pick 10, 11, 12. So I'm not too upset about it.
Well, it is a mock draft, so today doesn't really count. But if you guys are ready, let's hit that intro, Mike.
Oh,
right, caught him off guard, guys.
Got you. Here we go.
Wait, if you're not dancing to that, guys, we're gonna have some multiple people popping in and out of the screen. If you guys are participating in the draft, you guys want in, let us know. We'll bring you in for a little bit. So if you guys are watching everywhere, make sure you guys like, subscribe, help us out a little bit. Let us get us to our goal of 1,000. We just hit 500 subscribers yesterday. Now we're on our way up to 1,000. So when we're ready, Tony Tucker is going to be on the clock. Tony Tucker has been one of those guys that has been a Barkley truther. So has Clock Management. So
we got a little battle for Barkley there at the top, huh?
Yeah. So both of them. Let me see if Tony was having a little problem. So let's see.
Is here. Joe, who would you be taking if you were number 1 overall?
You know what? If I had number 1, I'll say CMC probably. But I've been and you guys can watch it tonight. We talk about it tonight on Welcome to the Warzone with Clock Management. And I told him, "What about Nick Chubb? What about Nick Chubb?" And he goes, "You're not stretching it. If that's who you want, you can get it. But I could probably get Nick Chubb a little bit later." But the thing is, wow, somebody really wants Nick Chubb. They're racing to go get him. So look, if I want a Nick Chubb, but I don't have the number 1 pick, right? Or if I have the top 3 picks, but I want Nick Chubb, like I personally want him, I have to kind of reach for him, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of still high on Derrick Henry. I know that's kind of an unpopular opinion, but I feel like there's so many questions you have to answer and convince me that CMC's number 1 overall pick. There's so many questions and answers you got to give me to convince me that Saquon Barkley is the number 1 overall pick. What's Derrick Henry's questions? There aren't any. My reasoning for Derrick Henry being my number 1 overall pick is because he is Derrick Henry.
The thing about Derrick Henry is if you're doing PPR, you want your guy to catch. And Derrick Henry had one of the best years as a running back last year, right? But he was still like 48 in PPR scoring. That sucks, right? That sucks. Like, dude ran for 2,000 yards and still down there.
All right, so it's showing on my phone that the draft has started.
All right, yeah. So Tony's
2 picks already down.
Oh, okay. So I got to start it right here. So what if I do?
There we go. So Tony did take CMC, and then Clock Management didn't take Saquon.
So I'm on the clock, guys. Woo.
Yeah.
I better pull this up because I don't even have it up on my screen.
That's a cool picture of you, the little purple alien.
You know what? I was talking about it. I did it. So there you guys go. I have to keep doing that, I guess.
Pull the trigger.
Yeah, I was talking about it. You know what? It's a mock draft. Let's see what it does. You know what I mean? Let's see the difference that it will do for us. And this isn't your normal draft. CMC, Cook, now Chubb. Could happen, right? Could happen. Yeah. It's all about preference in the first round of who you really want. You know who the top guys are. It's just your preference now. So there goes Kamara, however you want to say it. Derrick Henry, Barkley. Now Piggy's on the clock. So Barkley almost fell to number 8.
Barkley, yeah. Scoop got him. I bet you Piggy's probably kicking himself. 20 seconds, Kevin. 20 seconds.
You would think the fantasy expert would be like on top of it, right? Like if he was in my league right now, we would be talking so much mess. Like, come on, dude, don't you study? Don't you do all this? 7, 6. Ezekiel Elliott. So much talk. I took him last week at number 9, and people were like, you stretch for him.
At 9?
Yeah. People were giving me all kinds of hard time last week.
Kevin just took him at 7.
Well, there's our first wide receiver off the board with Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, football therapist, gets him. At the end of this first round, it's tough once you get out of those elite running backs.
Yeah.
You kind of got to accept, like, you're probably going to be weak at running back. So you might as well get really strong at receiver.
I don't know if you guys are who's watching right now, but if you guys, I saw something on Twitter today and it kind of made me mad. Somebody said Jonathan Taylor is just a rich man's David Montgomery. What? I was like, what? I don't know. I don't remember who says it. Oh, there you go. Travis Kelce, first round.
Travis Kelce's gone at the end of the first.
So if you guys are watching this, it's the update. I can get us off the board if you guys want to zoom in just a little bit. To see it, ground and pound is on the clock. So we've only seen one. We've seen one tight end, one wide receiver, and the rest of them running backs so far.
Not gonna lie, Joe, I was targeting Kelce here.
Yeah, were you hoping to get like the Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce back-to-back picks, or were you just gonna go like Travis Kelce and then something else?
No, I was gonna go Kelce and something else. We'll see what ground and pound does. Changes me up a little bit. I'm not as high on Kittle as I am Kelce.
Ground and pound, where you at? It looks like it's going to be auto-picked.
No, not an auto-pick.
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones is the auto-pick.
So Mike is on the clock. Mike, you have 2 picks right here. The bad thing is you had to wait 11 people. You lost out on 11 guys. But now you get to pick 2 in this spot. I don't like this spot because now you're going to have to wait again after you pick 2, but you can get 2 quality guys right off the top of the bat.
Yeah, it's definitely better for a person that's hosting a show. But because we got a lot of time to talk in between. You're also at the top, so you're also going to be waiting.
Yeah, but I got number 3, and I reach a little – okay, you took a little homer pick there with Austin Eckler, which I want to say – somebody was coming out? Is it Matthew Berry? Somebody is really high on Eckler this year, saying he could be the number one back. And I'm kind of slowing that down, but I do like your Adams pick. I think that's a great pick with Adams.
Yeah, I get Javonte Adams in the second round, technically.
Yeah, well, it is second round. It's second round, first pick.
What I'm talking about.
Cam Akers. Somebody asked Jay the Plug if Cam Akers could be 1-1. 1-1.
Cam Akers?
Yeah, and all Jay said was no. 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 It was like a simple nope.
There's no way.
Gibson just went right now. That's a good one.
Yeah, I like Gibson. There's a lot of mouths to feed in Washington now more than last year. We'll see how he stays involved in that offense or not.
A lot of people are high. A lot of people high on Joe Mixon this year, and we just saw him go right now in the second round. I'm still not buying him, but hey, good for you. Good for you, Fantasy Fact. There we go. So let's see. I'm still trying to – DeAndre Swift! is now off the board. Piggy has gone running back to back. Fantasy Football Scoop just took DeAndre Hopkins, so he has the Barkley Hopkins. That one's actually looking pretty good if Barkley can stay healthy. I'm liking that one.
That's Piggy's commandments right there. Get your running backs early.
Yeah, and you know what? If you don't get your running backs early, you're gonna feel it at the end of the season. I think so.
Yeah.
There we go. Bolster taking Kittle. Oh, look. So they follow the commandments. They were telling you about it, and they go and follow it. Both of them have taken running backs now. You know what? I'm taking a running back too, Mike.
Najee Harris.
I'm staying in division. I just took two of the AFC. What are they? South? AFC North, right? Two of the AFC North running backs. Clock management took Darren Waller.
Are you going to get J.K. Dobbins on the turnaround?
Might as well, right? Just get that whole division and just root for the whole division.
Gentlemen.
What's up?
Oh, Tony Tucker in the house? He's on the clock.
My lateness. I am on the clock here. I got back to back. I'm definitely grabbing a wide receiver. I just don't know. I'm going here with DK, my boy.
Gotta love Tony's background.
Ooh, DK. Tony, you're not a little worried about these Julio Jones rumors starting to heat up for Seattle to go after Julio Jones?
Oh man, this is why don't we just do this? Just blow the draft up.
Taking the college teammates.
Go back to back stud wide receivers in a passing league. We got half-point PPR in this. Might as well just have the guys that could finish 1 and 2 in fantasy football.
I like it, Tony. I like what you're doing.
You see that, Joe? The football therapist was thinking about picking up the boy that you got at 2-4. He's trying to get a couple picks before you. Okay. I like Harris in the second round, especially towards the end of the second round. I feel like he's going to get the workload over there in Pittsburgh. They got to figure out this run game or they're screwed, and they got to know that.
Yeah.
All right. I got to get caught up here. Who started the tight end train?
The first tight end went number 10 overall with Travis Kelce. Fantasy fact.
Yeah.
And then Bolster went Kittle over Waller.
Yeah, that goes down to your preference, but I know you and I, Tony, both think that Waller is the second best tight end.
I think he's the first.
Dang!
My thing with Kittle isn't necessarily that I think that Waller's better than him or is going to get more targets than him. My worry is his injury concerns, obviously, as always, and his style of play is just impossible to stay healthy. You got to be a superhuman to stay healthy when you're bashing your head against the wall every single week. I have him in my dynasty league, and it's so tough always having to have my backup tight end ready to go.
Yes, and the reason Waller's my number one is because there's a lack of options, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't love Ruggs or Edwards or whoever else the Raiders are flopping out there this season as much as, Kelsey's got some competition for targets.
Yeah, but Kelsey's shown that he's consistently going to give you what he's going to give you. So I feel like that's a safe pick. First round's tough. I actually was going to take Kelsey if he got to me at that 12 spot, but earlier, like 110, 19, I don't know if I'd reach for him in those couple spots.
So Piggy's really walking the walk. Piggy got Mr. Pigtails in the screenshot there in Ezekiel Elliott, and then goes and gets Anthony Lynn. The guy
he sure does like taking his time though. Piggy loves to take his time to draft.
Waller's in the pace league. Can't forget that.
Time's up. What happened?
That raises his draft stock.
And then 7. What happened was he
auto draft.
Who auto drafted?
Piggy. Where's Piggy?
Oh man.
Allen Robinson is a nice auto draft though.
Quarterback.
Therapist throwing it out there, taking Patrick Mahomes.
And then 7 going with 3 running backs again. 7 got his guy, Michael Sanders from Philadelphia.
Yeah, Michael Sanders is going to be a big we give him a hard time. Everybody has brain farts every once in a while, and then we just like to call each other on them.
Is this the first QB off the board?
Yes. Oh, there we go. Scary Terry right there.
I'm
liking that team.
the football therapist with the stack of Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. And if Cam Akers lives up to, the hype that he's getting this offseason.
He was saying it was between Akers and Najee Harris right there, Tony.
Okay.
Which one would you have taken?
I would have definitely gone with Cam Akers because I just think the Steelers' offensive line is going to, it's going to need some help this year. I don't imagine that it's going to get better after not really doing anything to it. David Montgomery. See, we're already getting light at running back. This is why I was afraid. This is why
Got him the Mahomes and Hill stack. He's happy about that.
This is why I should have taken a running back.
Yeah, he probably should have, Tony.
Chris Carson and Josh Jacobs. I almost took Josh Jacobs because I'm a little homer. I almost took him at 3-3 to go 3 running backs, but I took Justin Jefferson just to be safe.
None of the running backs I thought that might still be here for the end of the fourth, they're all gone.
They gone, Tony.
They're all gone.
You gotta listen to your commandments, Tony. They told you running backs early. You drafted back-to-back receivers with back-to-back picks. Now you're gonna pay the price.
You're doing what Piggy did on his last pick. When it comes down to fantasy football boot camp, you're just auto watching it. You need to pay attention, Tony.
We will. We'll see. I still feel great about my team. I just have to find a way to make up for it, and that might mean me making a couple reaches here in a second.
So your favorite team is on the clock right now because you're liking what Therapist is building here, and he just took Amari Cooper and ruined everything he had.
Yeah, I don't love Amari Cooper unless he falls into more of a 2 role and we see more of the double teams on CeeDee Lamb or Michael Gallup or something like that. But he's definitely better with Dak back, and if he can stay healthy, I mean,
yeah,
he's great.
Hey, I know he's watching. Therapist, why do you love Amari Cooper? Let us know. Mike Evans just went. I like Mike Evans. 7 years, 1,000 yards every year.
Mahomes Hill pairing.
Let's see. Piggy's back. He's not auto. Julio.
He said he's not afraid to take Julio in the 4th round, and here we are. I was thinking about Julio, but I figured I'm just gonna make my running back solid, and I'll worry about receiver later. I know I can get some value.
Thunder Thighs Mike Davis just went.
Having these back-to-back picks is tricky.
Julio Jones. If you guys didn't watch Fantasy Football Boot Camp, Julio Jones was a big topic between Piggy and Seven. And there was also a big topic on Friday Night Warriors between me and Mike.
Yes.
So go back and watch those shows now. Oh, no, not now. After this show. No, not after this show. After Welcome to the War Zone. We got a lot of stuff going on.
Football Therapist said that the guy was a wide receiver 1 before Dak went down. That's the Amari Cooper. He's got another long one here. Volume will be there. Targets. Offense will be high-flying. Guy will have a safe wide receiver 2 floor with some quality upside. See, he's got some thought behind the Amari Cooper thing.
And Jay just put in the chat that he loves his team so far. He said, I gotta love my team so far. He has Jonathan Taylor, Gibson, Keenan Allen, and Mike Evans. You guys like those?
Where is Plug's team?
I don't like his team.
I don't know. Well, it's you got to wonder what Taylor's going to do because they're probably going to go RBC, running back by committee, right? I'm on the clock, so hold on a second.
I like Plug's team a lot.
I don't. I feel like Jonathan Taylor is a question mark in the 1st round. I think he's going to be a beast, but there's a question there. There's no guaranteed stamp it. Jonathan Taylor's going to take over. And then Antonio Gibson's another one. Was they just added a lot to this offense. They brought in Ryan Fitzmagic, who's famously a pass-first style of quarterback. Not sure there with Gibson. Keenan Allen is slowing down, Plug. No one believes me when I say this. I watch the man every single week. Yes, he's still a very, very good receiver. He's still going to do a lot in there. He's probably going to have 100 catches, but I'm starting to see him slow down a little bit. And I'm a little bit worried about Keenan Allen my damn self. And then Mike Evans, obviously, we know that he's very touchdown dependent, and week to week he's very inconsistent. So Plug, I don't like your team. Don't like your team at all.
Okay, so last time this is where I went and made the the mistake of
Yeah.
drafting Dak Prescott. But Lamar Jackson is still on the board.
No. You need. Well, I guess he's technically a running back. You need running backs, Tony.
I do need running back.
It's never too early to go kicker, Tony.
So I'm going to go this route. I'm going to go boom.
Chase Edmonds.
Okay, Chase Edmonds.
And ETN. Back-to-back backs.
There we go. Get a couple guys that I can see who's there. You know, maybe I get a hot hand out of one of them. I got the best running back in fantasy.
This is the second draft that we've done, right? The second Monday mock draft Monday that we've had. And ETN has gone before James Robinson both times. Is that are we believing that ETN is now going to be the starter?
I believe that it's based on the passing game. I think they're going to need a lot of garbage time football, comeback football, and I think he's going to be out there a lot for, check downs from his guy, Trevor Lawrence. So I think there's going to be a lot of PPR value with Travis Etienne.
All right. Trying to read the comments in the chat too, because we have ours. We have the comments in ours. We have the comments in the chat.
Clock Management's letting Piggy know that he's got the quad squad with Mike Davis and Saquon. Quad squad. That's what you should name his team.
Mike Davis. That was the other guy I was looking at. Where'd I miss him at?
Good old Mike Davis.
Piggy, not Piggy.
No,
Football Scoop got him at 4.7. So
yeah.
A couple picks for you.
He was I was hoping maybe for Hunt, Davis, something like that to fall to the end of this fourth round, but we're clearly drafting with very eager running back individuals here. I also thought about trying to stack up on receiver and get Kenny Golladay.
I see you're high on these second-year wide receivers, man. You'd have a really good dynasty draft right now. You got some young guys.
Well, Justin Jefferson did his thing last year. Hopefully he can come back and do it again. CeeDee Lamb, Dak coming back. Hopefully they connect again. And then, I'm liking my team. I like Najee Harris. I think they're going to feed him the ball. Go along with Chubb and Cooper Kupp. Championship.
This is we gotta send this link to Piggy post draft and talk to him about this, because he's drafting a lot of the guys that he hypes up, and I like that. If you're gonna be out there and you're gonna be telling people where to put their money, you better be doing the same thing in public mock drafts. You have
2 more quarterbacks.
Ground and Pound took the guy who's going to take the pick before me. That's always fun. Let's see.
I just read something that Ground and Pound said, and I don't get it, and I don't know who Ground and Pound is, so I'm not trying to be mad or not trying to talk mess, so I apologize if you take this personal. But he said in the chat, I didn't know there was more than one round in this, or else I wouldn't have took Aaron Jones first round. So that was kind of interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's what are we doing? 13 rounds?
Yeah, I think it's set up for 13 rounds. I like that pick right there at the turn, Mike.
I feel like at this spot, if I'm the 12th pick, either the 5th round or the first 6th round pick is the only spot that I would be taking Lamar Jackson.
This is almost one of those weird spots too, where they're you'll talk to somebody, they'll be like, I got Lamar Jackson in the 6th round. It's the first pick of the 6th round. There's always the that conversation of value. It just sounds better if you would have picked somebody else at the end of the 5th and picked Lamar in the 6th.
Yeah, Mike, what are you doing?
I should have flipped him just for the troll job.
Yes, exactly.
It's all about value, Mike. Come on.
I'm in a tough spot here because I need a wide receiver too, but I don't like anyone here. I'm at the reach severely.
You're about to expire.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you guys follow us on Twitter, please make sure you guys retweet it, get it out there right now so more people can join in and enjoy this and learn some stuff on how to do their fantasy draft. Or how not to if you're watching Mike's team.
I feel good about my team right now. I got 4 really good running backs, and I got 2 receivers. I'm okay with DJ Chark being my wide receiver 2 to open the season up.
Have a DJ Chark?
Killing me.
DJ Chark over T. Higgins?
Yes.
Brandon Pound was like, thank you. I think he was in there like, oh, there's a Cortland Sutton. That's a forgotten wide receiver right there because he was out all of last year, but he's going to be back.
I feel like DJ Chark's going to be a wide receiver 1 on his team. I feel like Jamar Chase is going to be a wide receiver 1 on T. Higgins' team. Hot take, call it.
Plug. We reaching for the Mark Andrews. I mean, I understand the Mark Andrews love, but I don't know.
Oh, I like that pick.
Is there a pick that you don't like, Tony?
Yeah, well, you want me to talk about the picks I don't like?
Because you sound like a guy on draft, like covering the NFL draft, and that's a great pick.
I'm not saying it on all of them, but I'm saying Javonte Williams right there. He was down, like his ADP in this was down to 84, and he scrolled down and got him. That's why I took Edmonds there, but I wanted Javonte Williams. I just didn't want to reach what I
quarterback
felt was
run right now.
Round and a half early.
I want the low lights from Tony Tucker right now. You were preaching about him. Give me the low lights on Tony Tucker.
I don't know. I don't have any low lights on any of these people. The low lights I want to see are these people's garbage tape. I want to see where they like drop footballs, where they missed blocks, where, like that's what I want to see. I want to see about the time where they made a business decision and, turtle armed a football. Although I can't disagree. I probably would do a lot of that too. Some of these big guys coming to rip my head off.
If everybody's going quarterback, I'm going quarterback.
Oh, boy. I started the train. Well, I guess Kyler Murray started the train. Or Josh Allen started the train with Plugga.
Yeah, I didn't want to take a quarterback this early, but I'm going to just for the sake of mock drafting.
Well, you see him going, right? You got Dak Prescott, Herbert, Wilson off the board, 3 of the last 4 picks before you. You got to feel that pressure, Joe.
Oh, I'm feeling it. Mike.
Tony, who's your quarterback going to be?
I'm not going quarterback here. I already made the decision not to take Lamar when I wanted him, so now I must wait. My issue is that I don't love anybody at this portion of the draft.
Tony, come back.
Baby, come back.
Come on, Tony Tucker. Where are you drafting from, Tony? What studio is that?
Odell.
This is live. Joe, I can't do 2 things at once. Let me focus. Let me get through this and then answer your questions.
Odell Beckham. Tony, if you guys don't know, if you guys are watching right now, Tony is a big fan of the Cleveland Browns this year.
Mm-hmm.
He said Super Bowl or bust.
Football therapist wants the QB run to continue because he's already got Patrick Mahomes. So he's okay with everyone passing on all the other players for quarterbacks.
I hate that I had to take Melvin Gordon right there. Yeah. Football therapist really screwed me on that one.
Hey, Mike, I think I might do something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Joe, I'm in Prince Studio, the Purple Brick Wall. This is Purple Rain.
There we go.
Rain. There's the people are just like, Prince? Yeah.
Like, who's that?
Prince. Who do we got? Clock management. Let's see Clock's team here.
We just took Fournette. Mike, I'm gonna take another second year wide receiver.
Ooh. Jerry Jeudy. I am high on all of Denver's offense because Aaron Rodgers is probably going to that damn team.
Oh, so you said that since I drafted Aaron Rodgers last round, now I got the combo.
Yeah, maybe you might. And Jerry Jeudy is a very route runner, savvy Devontae Adams style receiver.
7. I was going to take Kyle Pitts right there, but I felt like I needed to take another wide receiver, and I didn't want to reach on because this is a point that we're at the tight ends. Like almost it doesn't matter, right? They're interchangeable.
I hope someone doesn't take my tight end. I'm not going to say it so that way no one takes him.
Jared Cook. Okay, we all know. Calm down. We all know, Mike. We all know it's Jared Cook.
No, it's not Jared Cook. I'm actually not as high on Jared Cook as some people are.
So Harris just went right there. Let me ask you guys a question. We saw Mike Davis go. We saw Harris go. We haven't seen Sony Michel go yet, right? if Sony Michel, I saw that he could be in the Julio Jones trade if New England trades him or trades for him. Would that raise Michel's value?
If who traded for him? Say that again.
If the Atlanta Falcons trade Julio Jones to the Patriots and they get back Sony Michel in that deal, is that going to help Sony Michel or is that going to hurt his value still?
I think it hurts Mike Davis. The problem with Michel is always going to be the knees, like whether or not he can stay on the field. When he's on the field, he's productive. But
Mike Davis.
yeah,
There goes the Bengals' best wide receiver they have on their roster.
Trey Sermon. That's man. I've been looking at Trey Sermon for like the last 3 rounds, thinking about picking him up, and I was like, no, he'll fall. And then Jay had to go do what he had to do.
Ruined it. Jay with this trash team.
Yeah. It's not like you're going to win anything, Jay. Stop taking my players.
Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins. I'm not sure which one of those guys, so I just keep staying away from all of them because I had T. Higgins and he was great for me last year. Especially grabbing him off waivers.
Yeah.
I just don't know which guy is going to eat on a regular basis. It's the same thing with the Steelers. Whenever I'm thinking about drafting there, I never know.
And the thing is you don't know who it's going to be. A guy like Joe Burrow spreads the ball out. So one week it could be Higgins, next week it could be Chase, the next week it could be Boyd. You never know who. Has Boyd gone yet? Is anyone seen Boyd?
I don't think Boyd is.
I don't think he has.
Yeah, he's still right there. Boyd still on the board, and I'm on the clock, and that's who I was gonna take.
Did he just snipe you again?
Chuck
Norris, baby.
Hey, Mike, when you go, oh man, I'm huge on the Broncos offense this year because I'm just like in my head, I go, the only person left worth drafting is the tight end, but I didn't say it out loud because
I was gonna get Kyler, and then he sniped me, and then I was gonna get Fan. He sniped me.
I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm huge on the Raiders offense, guys. Huge on the Raiders and the Texans. So if you guys are out there watching, please don't draft those guys.
So about Jared Cook.
How are you gonna bash your team like that? You're gonna lump the Raiders and the Texans together, Joe?
No, I actually personally have a rule that I don't draft my own team. I don't draft Raiders. I did last year with Josh Jacobs, and I traded him right away. I don't like having players from my own favorite team because it ruins me watching the game for them. And then, of course, your bias is going to pick in. And even if they're playing like a tough defense, you're going to be like, oh, they can get those points. Yeah, they're going to get 3 touchdowns. And you end up, hurting yourself in fantasy. So I have that personal rule that I don't draft my own team.
Sony hurts Sony's value. I like that clock. I'm going to stitch that on a pillow. It's going to be a fantasy football pillow that I'm going to use.
Bob Tunyon,
the GOAT. He's on all of my Madden teams. He's going to be on my fantasy team, too.
Hey, Mike Williams. Funny fact, our friends, Compas on the Beat, said Mike Williams could be a surprise cut at the end of training camp.
No freaking way. No.
Fernando didn't say it.
I love the Compas. If they cut Mike Williams, there's going to be a riot. They guaranteed him $15 million. I think we have to pay him if we cut him. I could be completely wrong. And if they can cut him and get 0 cap penalty, and they're bringing in Julio Jones, then we can talk. But
can you stop the Julio Jones to Charger talk?
That's the only reason that they cut him.
One day, Mike. One day.
That's the only reason that they cut Mike Williams.
We can go with that.
$20 million in cap. We have no incentive to cut Mike Williams out, right?
Come on, Tony. Let him know. Let him know it's not going to happen.
No, Tony got the worst running back in the league with his last pick.
He took the whole offense right there in Darren Waller. Oh, Raider guy. I talk about it. Raiders go right there. Piggy just took Drake. And wasn't Piggy just talking about Drake on Fantasy Boot Camp?
That's my handcuff, Piggy. What the hell, man?
They did a whole segment trying to bash my Raiders, right?
Yes, they did.
So it's all to throw us off on Monday's mock draft so Piggy could take Drake. See? Mind games all day.
He planned all this out.
he's like playing chess. He's 3 steps ahead.
Yeah.
I'm
Man,
trying to think of who I'm going to take next.
I'm hurt, man, because I was thinking guaranteed I'm going to have an option, either Kyle Pitts or Noah Fant are going to fall to me here, and it almost happened. It just right in the soul.
Yeah, but here's the thing that I'm curious about. You said, "Oh man, the Broncos are going to have Aaron Rodgers," and then you draft Robert Tonyan. It's like
That's true.
Oh, he's going to have Jordan Love. He's going to have Blake Bortles.
Juju Smith just went. Juju Smith. I'm on the clock. I'm not happy about this pick, but I'm going to take
he stays? I don't think he stays and plays. That's my thing. If he stays, I think he's going to be holding out until something changes. I don't know what exactly he wants to see happen.
Michael Carter. That's one guy that's been more intriguing to me. Is like that, and Tevin Coleman is some of the Jets players. You know, like when you get those Jamison Crowder type guys, it's not that fun to have Jets on your team. And I'll say that because Skirto's not with us, but towards the end of the year, middle of the year, like they've always seemed to come in handy when I've had certain Jets on my team, mainly just Jamison Crowder, or like back in the day, like Thomas Jones was another one of those running backs for the Jets that would come in handy.
Joe, I would love your team if this was a dynasty lineup. I'll tell you that right now. You have the gold of dynasty teams right now.
Bolstered is mad that he got auto picked and he took Joe Burrow. He is mad at in the chat right now.
Well, don't get auto picked, Brian.
Well, he probably had did he have his queue set up? How would he even pick Joe Burrow at this level?
He just needed a quarterback, I think.
Yeah, Brian, pay attention. Get some better Wi-Fi. Do something. I don't know. Fix yourself before you complain about auto, Brian Bolstered.
Yeah, you gonna take a quarterback, Tony? You know you don't get another pick till 40 picks from now, right?
You're good. You're good, Tony.
Yeah.
You're good.
No.
Don't take it. Don't just wait.
No, I'm good. I'm good on that.
You know you could take Derek Carr later on, or even Tua. You could take Tua.
Screw it. I'm just gonna have some fun. This draft's already gone to shit.
Stafford's on the board still.
Now you could take Hurts if you want to go along with that one.
Carson Wentz, it's a late pick choice. Tony, take Trevor Lawrence later on in this draft. That'd be fun.
No, if you want garbage on your team, Tony, then you can take Trevor Lawrence.
Javonte Smith.
I got has-been running back city here.
Hey, I wanted David Johnson just because of the run that he did on Madden in our tournament.
Let's see.
Tony, come back.
This is I do not want this. I do not want this roster evaluated.
Clock's got a good squad. He's got Dalvin Cook, Darren Waller, Calvin Ridley. I like all three of those as his first 3 picks.
If I don't have the number 1 running back and the 1 and 2 wide receivers, my team is just absolute trash.
I mean, compare the number 2 guy, clock management, to your team, and tell me which team you like more.
Look, clock management's mad at you right now.
You wanted Smith? I'm trading him. Really treat. I could use I could use some names of players that I actually like.
You should package him. He's got Mostert, and then he got Zach Moss later on, and Leonard Fournette. He can part ways with Mostert.
I'm really liking Tony's team here.
But isn't he a 49ers fan? Liking it to what? Finish 11th place out of 12 teams?
Yeah, that's why I like it, because my team can win a championship. If we had 10 other people just like you, Tony, plus you, I'd win this league.
Yes. This isn't good. I got to do one or the other. I got to be in here or I got to be on here. I can't do both of these things at the same time. It's not.
Nobody told you to draft, Tony.
I tried not to. Stupid technology hates me. Tom Brady. In another mock draft I did earlier today, while I was like trying to mess around with some of the other ones, Tom Brady was still on the board in like the 12th round, which I think last year he had like 40 touchdown passes.
Yeah, and he just went right now. He's the second quarterback on 7's team. and you have no quarterbacks, Tony.
Well, yeah, but 7 did the same thing in the last draft. He had Russell Wilson and then had another quarterback like Matt Stafford or somebody.
You have to. You know why? Because Russell Wilson starts off hot, and then at the end of the year, garbage.
I think that's only like one season that happened. He used to be like a.
It just happened last year. Remember the first 4 or 5 games? He had 5 touchdown games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Of recent, but when he started to fade away from the Legion to Boom, it was the slow start, strong finish because the Seahawks kept making playoff runs, and he was good in the fantasy playoffs. You never know what Russ you're getting.
No, you don't. And clock management says, in a mock draft, who's taking 2 quarterbacks? Huh? Who takes 2 quarterbacks? I added that myself. I just made it sound like that's him. But
I agree. I might not even take a quarterback in this. I might just completely mix it up to the point where my team trying to draft the worst team in fantasy football history.
I saw a guy in a real draft, in a real league, and he took nothing but quarterbacks. Nothing but quarterbacks. One all the way to the end, and he goes, you know why? Because people are going to come knocking on my door, and they're going to trade with me. No, dude, it backfired on him because nobody's going to trade with you because they all have crappy quarterbacks now, but they all have better teams, and you can't even fill your roster. Yeah,
that's the worst move ever. I had a league where 1 year the guy went his 1 and 2 picks. He went Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning with his first 2 picks of the draft, a 12 and 13 or whatever it was. He ended up moving one of those and got a running back and a wide receiver, and he won. And he's tried to duplicate that several times, and it's never worked again.
Nope, not going to happen. Latavius.
Yeah, a lot of these tight ends I thought that were going to fall to me too. This is a good thing about mock drafting. I'm now realizing that some of these guys I wanted, like Javonte Williams, I got to be a little sooner on them.
Yeah.
And some of these receivers that I thought would still be there later.
Oh, I like that one fantasy football therapist. I like Irv Smith. I think that's a little bit of a sleeper right there.
This is like I feel like I'm applying for college again. Like my backup schools are still rejecting me. Like I was hoping Irv Smith Jr. would be around on this turn, and he's not.
There's always Bakersfield Community College, Tony.
I couldn't get in there either. I can't read. It's on academic probation at a school that I was born into going to.
You said hip hop anonymous.
Hip hop anonymous.
If you guys don't know that, that's a quote from the Big Daddy. He's reading Hippopotamus, and he says hip hop anonymous.
I know you. You are the 3 pieces of cheesecake.
There goes Jalen Waddle to the team that's absolutely garbage.
I'm not impressed with Jay's team. I know he is. Jay's very impressed with his team. We do have a good conversation about Brandon Cooks tonight on Welcome to the War Zone with Clock Management. Guys, check that out. 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern time right after this. Is that a good plug right there?
That was a good plug. Seamless. You can plug it again every time he picks too if you want.
Yeah, every time Jay the plug comes on the screen, I'm going to plug something because I'm going to plug something when the plug is on the clock.
I was debating between Gesicki and Waddle. I couldn't take 2 Miami guys back to back, but it was tough.
They say that fantasy drafts will tell you what people think of your team, and we had 2 Miami wide receivers go in the 10th round, and Mike Gesicki basically in the 10th round.
Back to back almost too.
Yeah.
You're saying that nobody trusts Tua. Oh, I'm on the clock, guys. What are you guys telling me? I'm over here talking about Tua, and you guys aren't letting me pick nothing. You guys gotta keep me on.
Maybe they don't trust Tua because Gaskin, the running back, went in the 4th round, and that's a 6-round disparity from the receiving threats to the running back threat.
Yeah, a lot of people are hating on Myles Gaskin right now, but I think he's fine.
Miles, who?
Boda said Irv Smith or Adam Troutman.
I like Irv Smith.
I do like Irv Smith.
At some point, it's got to click.
That's awkward because Irv Smith got taken. Hunter Henry.
Who the auto draft? Just kidding. No, I gotta take somebody, right?
Clock got his handcuff. Damn it.
Who takes handcuffs in a mock draft? Come on.
There you go. What are you doing, clock management?
Khaled's DJ Khaled kids is on the clock right now.
How's business?
So how do you say that? When clock is on the clock, how do you say that? Like clock's on the clock?
Clock's on the clock. It's clock on the clock. And you're on the clock with clock.
There's the other Patriot wide receiver taken right there. Tight end, my bad. Ooh.
Yeah, 2 picks apart there.
Even the best make mistakes, Mike.
Between you two.
Oh.
That's his handcuff.
Yeah. I got to do something right with this draft.
Yeah. You got to do something right just at any time in your life, Tony.
I know. You, my wife, my mom.
One day you will grow up, Tony. One day you will grow up and your wife will start to respect you a little bit more. Your kids will be like, yes, my dad is cool. But we'll get there.
It's a slow process.
But drafting Chase Edmonds probably won't help you.
Well, drafting back-to-back tight ends, Joe. What is this?
Did I draft? Oh, no, I didn't.
You drafted Cole Kmet and Hunter Henry.
Because, look, I don't trust the tight end. I don't trust the tight end position, right? After the main guys, after the top 3, top 4 guys are gone, I don't even like Hawkinson that much. So after the top 3 guys of Kelsey, Kittle, and Waller, then I'm like, I don't know who to take. I don't know what I'm going to do, where I'm going to go. So I'm going to take 2 guys at the bottom of the draft, and hopefully one of them pans out.
So here's a question.
Okay, that was cool. You got real quiet. That's cool.
I was sorry. Joe, I already explained to you guys 1,000 times. I cannot do 2 things at once.
I'm over here giving my life story about how I fantasy draft, how I do all this, and then you just like yeah, you guys told me out like my kids playing Switch. Nintendo Switch brought to you by the Warzone Sport. No, I wish.
Until I like flyers on Antonio Brown. Who did that? Bolster?
Yeah.
Of course.
Bolster, get out of here, Bolster.
Bolster's mad because he didn't get Tom Brady. He could have waited another round and he could have had the GOAT. He could have had him.
Tom Brady. Thomas, Edward, Jefferson. What's his name? I don't know.
Thomas, Patrick, Edward, Brady.
Whatever. Same thing.
TFB.
I like it. TFB.
Anyway, speaking of tight ends, the question I meant to ask you guys a couple of picks ago. Jonnu Smith or Hunter Henry? They're almost making the exact same amount of money to the dollar. Which one's going to be better for your fantasy football teams this season?
Of course, Hunter Henry, the guy I took first. Mike, really? Come on, man. Pay attention to the board, Mike.
What are you thinking, Tony?
I like either one. I probably would have taken Henry there. I think he's a safer play for catches, but I do think that Belichick will use Jonnu Smith in a lot of different ways. Out of the backfield, probably have him running some tight end sweeps down near the goal line. He's gonna use his athleticism, but Henry just feels safer, more traditional.
Gotcha. He's more of that Gronk prototype, I guess you would say, with Hunter Henry.
So Bolster's mad that he goes, haha, for real. I'm loving my team right now. I have a quarterback with no legs and a backup tight end already. Haha.
Can we send this link to some of them and bring them on to talk about their teams?
They all have the link. I don't know why they don't want to come on. Maybe they're afraid of who they're drafting and they know that we're going to rip them apart, Tony.
I need to get me off the screen because people keep taking my damn pick within 2 picks before it every single round.
Yeah, this did not go how I anticipated in my head how this whole thing was going to go. I was just going to sit here and make fun of everybody's team. And then, of course, I got shook.
Oh.
It shows how weak I am as a human being that I can't even draft a fantasy team and make fun of other people at the same time. I only have so much brain power, and it's very limited. Devontae Parker. Yeah, I want to talk to Piggy about all these Dolphins going in like the 10th round.
Hey, I just found out, like I said, people make mistakes, guys. I sent the link to the wrong group. So they probably were like, these guys don't want us on the air. And I'm like, I sent it to the wrong people.
Yikes.
If you guys want to come on now and talk about your team, we will do that. My bad. I did it.
My guy, my quarterback is still available this late in the draft. Can't believe it.
Baker Mayfield, obviously.
He's going to fall to me in the 13th round.
Someone take Baker in the next couple picks.
He's going to be the MVP. I love when you set yourself up for stuff like that. You don't even have to say the name. So whoever it is, that was my guy. That felt like when my daughter brings me to school and she points at all the artwork and she goes, I just love them all. They're so great until she puts her hand. Clearly that was my favorite. They all look like dog shit smeared on the wall, but hers stands out from the rest.
You guys already read all this?
He did want Brady.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I know, Brosted. I'm sorry. It's my bad. I apologize.
The link is there. Denzel.
I got flustered right at the beginning when I thought Tony was going to be here on time. Tony had some issues. Then they were like, "It's all on you, Joe. It's all on you." And of course,
everything fell apart for me like right before.
Get on here, Bolstered, and let's do it.
I hit
bring it on, Bolstered.
He's gonna come in with those crazy eyes.
Oh, Rashad Bateman taken. He was my fun pick at the end of the last one.
I apologize, guys. That was my fault. I got all crazy.
Oh, Plugs in the actual sleeper chat saying that the Chargers make a push for Ertz.
Joe Sucks said he's okay with it.
I'm good. I actually really like that a lot.
Ertz to the Chargers, that'll be the best place for him to go, in my opinion.
Fernando
bias aside.
Fernando Ramirez, friend of the program, friend of the War Zone, has been pushing that, and he's been saying it. He said even with Jared Cook, the Chargers have the cap space. They can bring him on. They can do whatever they want, and he's been pushed. If you watch anything that has to do with Compass, he's talking about Ertz to the Chargers all the time.
Yeah, make the dream a reality, and then you can get a little bit of veteran leadership to McKitty. Telling you, McKitty's gonna hit, guys.
McKitty, the prospect.
Yep, he's gonna.
Mike doesn't like him, but I like him.
I didn't say I don't like him. Who, McKitty? I think he has some polishing to do. Zach Ertz could help him out with that.
Exactly. Get a couple of these older guys around him.
He's good when he gets the ball in his hands. He's just not the best route runner, from what I saw at least.
Marlon Mack, clock jumping.
What up?
Here.
My bad, Clock. My bad.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah, you said that. I was like, oh no, I'm like, I didn't see a link. I would have popped in.
You're like, what a liar! He's lying to me.
And yeah, you should know that Baker is not making it to you because I also do not have a quarterback.
Oh,
You jumped in here to troll me.
Thanks for giving away your advice, Clock. Because I just took Baker Mayfield.
Oh, I'm okay with that. I had a backup, so I had a backup just in case.
I just removed Justin from the draft.
Look what happened. You removed Justin in the whole draft.
Yeah, see, I am the draft.
Oh, my guy's still here. He's still here. There he is.
Arson wins. So I drafted Baker Mayfield for no reason.
That's your guy, Tony?
That's my guy.
It is now. It is now.
That's how it works. All right. Who's a fun one?
It's like in the regular NFL draft when they're always like, that was the top guy on my board. Top guy on my board the whole time.
Every
no,
time.
He wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Wait, I want to.
Tony can't do two things at once. Clock. Hey, Clock.
Yep.
I know you're second on this next round, but hey, guys, clock management. Justin's on. Welcome to the War Zone. Right after this, 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern. Check it out.
Yeah, man. I've been huge on the Saquon thing, but for this one, there's been 2 reports in the last 24 hours. They might put him on a snap count, so I've lowered him down temporarily till I hear what's going on in the training camp.
Guys, Clock does up to date. He was telling us on Welcome to the War Zone. He does up to date standings every week. Clock.management. You don't even have to put .com in there.
Yeah, I'm actually going immediately after this. I'm going to update my rankings.
I saw earlier that you were like, oh, you lowered Barkley a little bit, and I was like, I thought I don't know if I said it on Instagram or I tweeted it to you. I said, you're backing down already?
No, so just till I see what's happening in training camp, because they got these reports. I mean, this does remind me of last year with Dalvin Cook, though he started holding out. There was talk of him being on a snap count because he's coming back from injury, and then none of it turned out to be true, and he was just fine.
I'm on the clock. I forgot to draft somebody, and I'm not going to make it in time. Why not? Todd Gurley.
Dang. Yeah, that's the most talented running back still available. I mean,
Free agent.
his body not so available, but
I'm just waiting for one guy to go down. What if he goes to Detroit and he goes and kills DeAndre Swift's value right now?
Yeah, he went and visited there, and everyone's scared now. If you own DeAndre Swift, do not sell him right now in a dynasty, because you're getting him at the lowest possible value.
Hey, there's people saying sell.
I know, go buy him. Go buy him. It's the lowest value you could get him at, and Todd Gurley didn't leave with the deal.
But you're saying it's like Dogecoin. Just hold on to it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why would you imagine this is the stock market and you only sold your stocks when they're at their low. Like, you're doing it backwards.
Bolstered. He didn't get Tom Brady, but he got the second GOAT in his eyes, Sam Darnold.
That's right. I just got the future GOAT after I accidentally drafted the quarterback with no legs. I recovered. Sam Darnold. He's going to bounce back. It's going to be awesome. I have him paired with DJ Moore. I like my team. It was rough there for a stretch. I can't lie. I went and drafted George Kittle in the second round and then drafted a backup tight end in like the 7th. That wasn't pretty. And I definitely wanted Tom Brady over Joe Burrow, but I like my team. I can't lie. I got Antonio Brown, a complete flyer. And I think when we look back on this draft, I'll be sitting pretty.
Brian, you messed up. Did you just see who went? Did you see who went 13-6?
No, I don't need a 30 for 30. I'm not ESPN. I don't need Jameis Winston, man. That's the only thing that worries me about Michael Thomas. I drafted him in the first round last year. Bit me in the butt, to say the least. But in the third round, I feel a lot better about it.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian, just in case, who are you going to draft when you got the auto draft of Burrow? Like, who were you looking at?
I seriously was. I was going to draft Tom Brady. Okay. Now, if this was a legit draft, not that I want to say I was just, making stuff up.
Come on here and just practice a little bit. Go ahead.
Hey, Tom Brady would have been in consideration, but what I usually go with my actual drafts is getting a quarterback extremely late. Like, I love getting a quarterback very, very late. Tom Brady, I think, is a good pick, but I would have liked to wait another round to get him. Really, I'd like to wait until at least round 9 to get a quarterback. That's my opinion, because the guys like Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, that are absolutely awesome in fantasy, that go too high for me. Patrick Mahomes in the 3rd. That's crazy to me. I love Kyler, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I love those guys. But the 5th round that they went in, that's too high for me. I mean, last year I got Josh Allen in like the 10th round. Unfortunately, I didn't win that league. I made some mistakes along the way, but that's one pick I can at least be proud of.
If we look at this 6th round here, I would have been happy with any of these guys at the 6th round. Prescott, Herbert, Wilson, or Rodgers. Like at the end, like I'm over here, basically drafting the beginning of the 7th round. If any of those guys would have made it.
Yeah. I love Russell Wilson always, but he's started to get too much. I wouldn't say too much respect, but like he's getting drafted higher and higher. He used to be, in my opinion, a guy that you could always get as a steal. And now I don't think that's true anymore. I think he's going to go too high. And I just don't like drafting a quarterback that high, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think that team wants to run the ball too. I think that, they saw last year they tried to just let Russ cook and it wasn't working. And they tried to get back to the run towards the end of the season. So I think you'll see a little bit of that. I mean, he'll still be fine for fantasy, but I don't think he's going to be that elite level.
To me, it's just about like the payoff.
Yeah.
How much better is Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers in the 5th round going to be better than Tom Brady, let's say, if you get him in the 10th, which I think is realistic. Like, I don't think that payoff's there when realistically you could get a top flight wide receiver, top flight tight end, even though I usually like to wait on tight end, and then running backs. I believe in like stacking your board with running backs, particularly that 1st round pick's got to be one in my opinion, but then kind of rounds like, 4 through 7, just stack up running backs because to some degree it's a crapshoot. So like I went James Robinson, who I think is being undervalued right now. You just took the board away from me. I'm struggling with my memory here. James Robinson, Ronald Jones, who I think is being undervalued just because of the playoff run, and then Damian Harris. I mean, I think that's 3 flyers. One of those guys has to work, right? And then I have Derrick Henry, who even if he doesn't get 2,000 yards, he's going to be pretty good.
Derrick who?
Someone said in the comments too about Chris Carson. Yeah, I think I actually have him ranked higher than where he currently is. I mean, still, I don't have him like a top. I don't think he's in my top 12, but he's just outside of there in my rankings. He's pretty high. So I think that he could have a great value this year on the Seahawks. Also, I like to draft on these mock drafts. I avoid some of the players that I really like just to see where they get picked by other people. So I could kind of gauge that as we get closer to draft season, how far can I let this guy fall to get maximum value on him?
I think Tony took that advice, Clock. He didn't know that he was taking the advice. He stayed away from anybody that was good.
Yeah, like actually, if you guys tune into the episode on Warzone that I'm on right after this, you'll see like I didn't draft any of those players I told you I have as sleepers. I didn't draft a single one of them because I want to see where they go.
Yeah, 5 sleepers. He gives us 5 sleepers tonight, guys, on Welcome to the Warzone. So check that out.
I really did apply that theory, Joe, because I wanted Javonte Williams. When I decided to go receiver, I was like, okay, where am I getting my value at running back? And it was Mike Davis. It was Javonte Williams. And I just waited. I was like, well, I can wait. And you can't. I can't wait. And then I end up with the crap that I have now.
Tony, when I look at your background, I think you're playing Dance Dance Revolution.
I am playing Dance Dance all over the grave of my fantasy football team is what I'm playing.
Can I just ask Clock here? I know you have connections with Darren Waller. Do you think in most drafts he is going to go before Kittle? Or is that just...
Well, my connection is Jay. But yeah, I have him as... So I think most drafts he will go before Kittle. I actually like Kittle a little bit more than him. Don't tell him I said that. But yeah, I like Kittle a little bit more. Not much. I have they're pretty much interchangeable to me. I don't dislike one. If either one of them I have as a second round value though. And then I don't have another tight end until probably the end of the draft is probably where I would draft if I didn't get one of those 3.
Okay, cool. And I just have one more question because I drafted Ronald Jones. I see you drafted Fournette. Do you have a particular feeling as who's going to be the better running back in 2021?
I do.
For fantasy. Yeah,
so
of course.
I think Tom Brady, like what none of us knew is that apparently Tom Brady was the actual coach in New England because the whole time he was there, they had that running back by committee. You never know which running back to start. And then he comes over to Tampa and brings that over there. And all of a sudden you don't know who's going to be the running back which week. They say that they're trying to get who was it, the rookie from last year more involved. And
Keyshawn Vaughn.
Yeah, and they sign another running back. And they're obviously not trying to get him more involved. So I mean, I think it's between Rojo and him. So it's kind of a roll of the dice. I like Fournette a little bit more. I just think he's more talented, but yeah, it's a roll of the dice when you're dealing with their running backs.
Yeah, and just to give you a little backstory on that, Brian Bolster said Fournette shouldn't even be in the league last year.
That's not what I said. That is not what I said. But I did trash on him. But this was prior to the playoffs, which in my opinion, he wasn't very good before that. And I said, I question if he's a starting caliber running back. Which I still think, even at this point, are we really going to say
I don't
he's
think
top
they have
20?
I don't think they have a starting caliber quarter or running back on their team though.
Ooh.
Me and Clock. All right. Hey, we're in line. Although I will say I think Ronald.
There it is.
But
There's
yeah,
the quote on the
Lenny.
screen.
Yeah, but all of their running backs are. That's the thing. And someone's going to get the ball.
You don't get away with nothing here, Brian Bolster. We keep records of everything. We keep receipts on the Warzone. Fantasy
I said he was
trash.
trash.
What's going on?
What's happening, guys? How
I
you
said
doing?
he was garbage. I'll take
doing,
that.
How you guys doing?
All right. How'd you like your draft?
You know, it wasn't what I was going for. I really thought one of these running backs would fall in round 1. But once I got Tyreek Hill, I was going to go after that stack. I really love the Hill-Mahomes stack. I think that can win you your week. Any given week, they could put up 60 points combined. Akers is a guy that I really like in the second round. A lot of guys have been taking him in that 1.09 to 1.12 range. I think that's a little too rich for me, but in the second round where I got him, I'm pretty excited. I think he could be a really good workhorse back with the Rams next year.
Yeah, I know Michael Florio said that he's comfortable taking him with the 9th pick.
Yeah. I mean,
Hey, sorry. I don't want to jump in here. I see the comments.
You wait your turn, Brian Bolster.
I mean, he's definitely going to get the workload. I think they want to use him like they used Todd Gurley a couple years back. They want that feature back. Okay. I just think if you're taking him over Tyreek Hill or Javonte Adams, I think you have to be really sure that he could be a top 5 to 10 back clear every single week.
No, I agree. Or even Aaron Jones or Austin Eckler.
Yeah. I like Jones a lot. I was considering him there too. He's probably one of the last really elite guys in that second or third tier for me that I have in my rankings. I think he's been so efficient. I think the concern, of course, is Aaron Rodgers is going to be there. It's still up in the air. That could definitely impact the offense a ton for everyone involved. But Jones, if Rodgers is there, he could be top 5 easily again next season.
What do you guys think about Jonathan Taylor? Did he go too early in this draft?
For me, a little bit, yeah. But I think that's where he's going to go.
I like it. I don't hate. I think that he could, depending on the workload he gets, but he could be like he could finish above that easy. Talent wise, he's not lacking, so he could be there. Obviously, Marlon Mack's back this year. He's got other, there's other things to consider.
The Mac.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. But I think that's a good offense for him.
Yeah, I was actually hoping he was going to fall to me. I got sniped there by Plug, who had a really good start to his draft. The thing about Taylor is he has the draft capital. He has the ability to me. We saw it down the stretch. He really performed to the level that we thought he would. And they have a terrific offensive line. In order to be that elite back, you really have to have a solid offensive line. And I know you guys were talking about Harris a little bit before, who I really was contemplating in the second round. He doesn't have that elite offensive line in Pittsburgh. So to me, while he could still be a workhorse like Jonathan Taylor, Taylor has that top 5 ceiling, whereas Harris doesn't have that. I think the Marlon Mack signing, I think, of course, coming back from that Achilles injury, it's going to be a little tough for him to really get back in the swing of things. I liked Mack as a talent, but that's one of the more difficult injuries as a running back to really come back from. So we'll see how he plays a role in that offense. But I think it's Jonathan Taylor's backfield to really own next year.
Yeah, I like that. We got a question here since you guys are all ready. You guys are all fantasy minded. Ready? Waddle, Fuller, or Parker? What are you guys thinking of that committee right there?
Man, Fuller is the one to have until he's not. You know what I mean? Like he's going to be the one to have if he stays healthy.
Or stops taking.
Yeah, I'm taking Waddle. Give me Waddle. Fuller's he's not going to play probably even double-digit games. So yeah. Hey, I wanted to mention that I'm one who tends to kind of go off on tangents. And fantasy football therapist, I heard you say that Plug had a good start to his draft. Are you implying that he had a terrible finish, garbage finish, a Leonard Fournette type of finish to his draft?
No, I really liked his draft overall. I think one of the mid guys who I'm not really high on is Mark Andrews this year. I'm actually going to be putting out a post on the Ravens next year. I think Andrews is going to be too inconsistent at the tight end position. We saw it last year. He either won you your week or lost you your week. And I think with the addition of Bateman, they got Sammy Watkins there. I think there's not going to be enough targets going his way to really produce to that top 5 tight end where he was drafted there. He was drafted as the top 5 tight end there. So I don't think he's going to reach that mark next year, personally.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys, I like Jay the Plug, and you guys want to go off on Jay the Plug right here. Jay the Plug, go ahead, keep going. I like it. Go ahead. What else?
But other than that, I mean, like,
think about Jay's team. Let's see. What else did Jay take?
I mean, to me, the question mark would be running back. I do like Jonathan Taylor. I do like Gibson as well. But they're young guys. They're in their second year. And then after that, you really see, I mean, Trey Sermon, a rookie. Brandon Cooks, not a big fan of that. But then A.J. Dillon, what kind of workload is he going to get, considering they just paid Aaron Jones? He got Waddle, so I like that. And then Hawkins, who I like a lot from the draft in terms of a sleeper, not necessarily for fantasy, but a speedy running back coming out of Louisville. I'm a little biased towards Louisville. Can't lie. My Titans picked Des Fitzpatrick from Louisville, and Scott Satterfield, former App State coach, one of the best, I think, out there in college football. So I'm a little biased there. But I think if there was a question mark about Plug's team, it would be kind of his running back depth.
Man, you got to put more respect on my guy Brandon Cooks there. I mean, that's your perennial wide receiver 2. Right, year after year after year, he makes the top 20 wide receivers, even higher sometimes, but he's never been outside the top 20 in his entire career. And yet he still gets disrespected every year. Every year, he's going to outperform that draft capital. I promise you.
I
had a question for you, Clock. Would you feel confident if Tyrod Taylor or Davis Mills is throwing him the ball? Because that's my biggest thing. Of course, there's not really much competition there.
It could be a lot worse, right? Like he could have Jared Goff throwing him the ball, because we saw that happen, and he was still a wide receiver 1 that year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the depth of throw isn't an issue for him. He can run after the catch. He's great at adapting. That's the thing with him. He's a great he's talented. As long as he's on the field, he's talented. And the biggest threat to him left their wide receiver core. He's getting all the targets. And it's a team with a horrible defense that's going to have to throw the ball. That's all their whole game is going to be through the air. So he's going to get the ball a ton. He's going to get a ton of targets. As long as he's on that field, he's going to kill it. I mean, for the same reason everyone's loving A.J. Brown, yet, no one's talking about Brandon Cooks and how many targets he's going to get.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Because he is that deep threat guy. I just don't see Tyrod Taylor being able to throw the ball down the field past 20 yards. I think he's, a rough quarterback from that perspective. And I'm not really high on David Mills coming out of college. I think that he was more of a developmental prospect. So if he gets thrown into the mix, I think this offense can really struggle. But I definitely see where you're coming from, that he's going to be the target hog there. So if they can use him correctly next year with these quarterbacks, he definitely does have that upside appeal.
Joe, put that comment back up on the board. Put it back up on the screen. Hey, first of all, I got a couple comments about this. First off, I do elevate talent on my fantasy football team. So just these guys being on my team, they're going to improve. Second of all, I mean, I've got Derrick Henry, George Kittle, Michael Thomas. Those guys don't even need any elevation. If they just play like normal, I've got the number 1 running back, the number 1 tight end, and the number 1 receiver, if those guys stay healthy. So I like that. Then I've got Sam Darnold, who does elevate talent around him. So DJ Moore, a lot of people are expecting a lot of him out of last year. This year, it's going to come to fruition.
I don't know. Randy Pemberton has it out for you. Yeah, you and Joe Skirto, he has it out for you. But I don't know. I was looking at your team, and I thought you were doing all right until you started auto drafting. And I even told you on the air, correct yourself before you start complaining about auto correcting. Randy Pepperton, he must have heard me because he don't like you, Brian.
That's all right. That's all right. The Pepperton, I don't have fond feelings for him either.
You better, hey, if he ever comes on the show again, you better let him know. But I don't know. We have a big conversation tonight on Welcome to the War Zone about Brandon Cooks with Justin. You guys need to check that out. It's going to come on in a little bit. Bolster, get your clown makeup on.
Man, he's firing shots.
Man, yeah, I know. I got to bring this Pepperton guy onto Sports Force and just really let him have it. What do you think, Joe?
I don't know if Pepperton. I don't know if you can. If Pepperton's like that, he's going to be some entertainment. Joe has the best team, Piggy approved. Oh, 2 drafts in a row, guys. I drafted good. You guys want to check out my team? Let me know what. Go ahead. I'm right here. 3 of you guys go ahead and roast my team. Try to roast my team. We'll see if Pepperton
I got you.
to go up on Brian right now.
No, so my biggest problem with your team, though, Joe, is Najee Harris. I know a lot of people are going crazy over him because, you know, he's the only running back in the show there, but he also doesn't have an offensive line to block for him anymore. They gave away their entire offensive line this last year, so it's going to be a rough go for him starting back there. I don't think that he's going to be as effective. It's been multiple years since we've seen an effective running back come out of Pittsburgh. So I think they're trending in the wrong direction there. And that's the only one I really don't like from your team. The rest of the team I like.
Somebody says maybe it's the Joe Sucks teams that he's referring it to. We got to get clarification on that. But no, I went young on my team, and you could tell in it.
Yeah.
I talked to you about Nick Chubb. We talk about it.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that pick. Any those first, like, I would say 8 people, you grab your guy. Like, just grab whoever you want because they're not making it back to you in the second round. Whoever you believe in, you go get that guy.
I wanted to take Barkley there, but it's a mock draft, right? So we want to try some new things. We want to see, okay, what happens if this guy goes? So that's why I was like, you know what? I'll take Chubb here. In a normal draft, I take Chubb. Probably not. I'd probably still take, the Henry or Kamara or Barkley or somebody up there. But why not throw a wrench in it and try some new things so we're not drafting the same thing over and over week in and week out.
It looks the same every time.
Yeah. I think what Clock said there, I mean, if you're at the 1.3, what's the difference between drafting a guy who's supposed to go at the 1.3 versus the 1.6? If you think he's going to be the best running back who's going to win you your league, you take him. I mean,
and I'm going to be a lot less upset with myself at the end of the season if I grab my guy and he didn't work out than if I grabbed the guy who, just because he was ranked there on whatever app I was using, and now that guy ended up playing 2 weeks and then getting hurt or whatever, and I got, I just lost the whole season because of it.
Yeah, 100% agree there. So team 12. I really like that team. I think you started off really good. I think Chris Carson is a guy that Clock mentioned before. He's getting a little disrespected. I see him falling a little bit. I think that he could be a really good RB2 with RB1 upside. I love Lamar Jackson at that spot. I think Lamar could potentially be the number 1 quarterback this year if things go his way. He has that rushing upside. Wide receivers, you got Adams. Obviously, it's dependent on if Rodgers is there. If Rodgers is there, he's going to put up 20-plus fantasy points every week. If he's not there, that's the only thing. There's a risk, but obviously we're drafting so early. DJ Chark in Jacksonville could have a big year. I know a lot of people in the chat before were talking about Laviska Shenault, but I think DJ Chark should be the main guy there. I think Marvin Jones and him could be a really good 1-2 duo in Jacksonville. And Shenault will play a role. I just am higher on those other 2 guys. Samuel, great player in Washington. I really like the value there. So I think overall you have a really good team. Of course, it's contingent on Rodgers being in Green Bay. And what do we think if he'll be there? How good can Adams be?
Yeah, I agree with you. Everything you just said right there. So I want to thank Bolstered and Clock Management. They just left. Thank you for coming on and helping us out. But yeah, if you guys have questions right now, Fantasy Football Therapist is here. Ask him some questions. Anything you guys want to ask, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, help us out wherever you guys are. We're going through our mock draft. We just finished mock draft Monday, our second mock draft. You guys can see the board. I can pull the board up if you guys want. Just ask if you can't see something. We'll ask it. And let's see. Too many Raiders and Dolphins to be competitive.
Talking about Joe Sucks team.
Is that the Joe Sucks team?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I did get a Raider, and I have to rely on a Raider to do a lot of work for me and Josh Jacobs. My thing was with the whole Davante Adams thing, I probably should have went Diggs there. I could have gone Diggs there. But I was looking at Kelsey, and then when Kelsey got taken, it just completely punched me in the nose.
Yeah.
I was trying to get the best tight end available and then trying to get Eckler back to back.
And Diggs is a guy who obviously he's going to get his points. Again, he's a little bit more safer right now at the moment, but if we're in August and we know Rodgers is there, I mean, Adams should be going, mid-first. So that's a really good value right there. If this was a later in the season draft and we know Rodgers is there, that's a pretty big value in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he falls that far if Rodgers is locked in.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking about teams that had a good start, Tony Tucker had a good start. He had a good start. And then, when you take Christian McCaffrey, then you take Metcalf, and then you take A.J. Brown. Come on. That's a good one.
Well,
and speaking about it, Tony Tucker just asked, how bad was my draft, therapist? He wants you to know he's number one. So right after the number, because we can agree, the first 3 rounds, amazing. Then he went Jay the plug status.
I mean, I just don't like – I've been a big Chase Edmonds believer for the past few years. I've been really hyping him up. But right there, that's not the spot for him. I mean, if we look last season, he only had 97 carries. And in one game, he had 25 carries. Every other game, he only had 3 to 5 carries. So you're relying pretty much on all receiving work. I know you mentioned earlier when you were in here that you were thinking about taking Lamar Jackson. If you took Lamar Jackson there, I think that you potentially have a playoff team right there. Because I don't hate the Melvin Gordon pick. I think, obviously, with Javonte Williams coming in, a lot of people are concerned. But to me, they're going to split. He's still going to get work potentially on the goal line. And as an RB3 or 4 there at that spot, that's not a terrible pick. Beckham, I mean, he has the ceiling. Can he stay healthy? That's the question. But if he's healthy, he's your wide receiver 3 behind 2 top 5 to 10 guys. That's a really good start. And then I'm growing on Devonta Smith in Philly. I wasn't a big fan of him pre-draft, but I think that once he got to Philly and he had that clear-cut wide receiver 1 role there, he's going to get the targets. He's going to get the looks. I think that you could have had one of the more stronger teams if that Edmonds pick was Lamar Jackson like you were thinking.
Yeah, as much as he kept talking about how he passed on Lamar Jackson, I think that would have saved him a little bit more overall on his team. Tony's mad right now. Randy Pepperton just told him to change. He said, Tony, change your last name to Bolster because you're trash. So Tony came back, but Melvin Gordon fumbled 3 times by week 6. Yeah, we had that going, and Randy's. So, I don't know. If he would have taken a quarterback earlier, he might have saved his team. But there's a lot of what ifs with Tony's team. There's always next week, though, Tony. There's always next week.
And drafting in the first spot is easy for that first pick, tough for the rest of your picks. So you got a challenge already as it is. I like what you're saying, Joe. I think that those first 3 picks are great, and then it gets questionable from there. I mean, you got your trust and Trace Edmonds to be your RB2, and if God forsaken something happens to Christian McCaffrey, you got Edmonds as your RB1 for the long term. That's a little scary. It's a little scary. Maybe Melvin Gordon or David Johnson steps up and overperforms a little bit, though, Tony. There's a chance that happens. Probably not Melvin Gordon if I had to take a bet.
I mean, I'm not like super high on Melvin Gordon, but I think that backfield, they're going to be splitting a lot of time. I think it's going to be easing Javonte Williams in for the first start of the season, kind of like Cam Akers, I guess, last year, and then potentially he could take over by the end. Because if you look at Gordon, he only has 1 year left on his contract. I think that draft move was more long term, because I think what the Broncos are thinking is they could potentially be a year or two away from contending if they could get a quarterback. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, and of course, Aaron Rodgers going there raises the entire Broncos offense is number
100%.
So that's always in the back of our minds.
I read something that Drew Lock said he's collecting all these comments. So you guys keep talking, because at the end of the year, he's going to throw it right back in your faces.
Is he even going to start? That's the question.
Ooh, you taking Teddy Two Gloves is going to be starting? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know if you guys saw Randy Pemberton put his middle name out there now. So we got that going. Brian got that guy wild up, and now he took off. He dipped. Now we got to worry about it. It is what it is. Sorry, therapist, that you got to come on and you got to deal with Randy Pemberton.
I enjoy the hate. It's fun. It's fun conversations.
It is what it is, but yeah,
Exactly.
Randy Pemberton. Tony, you ready to come back on the screen? We can bring Tony back on and ask him a couple questions.
Roasted
Wrap it up, because I know we're getting close here. What was that? He was like clapping or something. I don't know what he's doing.
Yes. What did you want me to? Is this better?
I want you to be like, yeah, bring me home.
I had to sit backstage and listen to the truth, but it's good to hear that, because I definitely should have drafted Lamar Jackson. In the last draft, I was upset with myself because I drafted Dak Prescott in the 5th round. But I shouldn't have let that shake me for this round, this time in the mock draft. But I like the top 3. If that was my starting 3, I would feel pretty good going into the season, and then just try to make some trades. But a lot of the guys I thought would fall didn't. And so now I know that if I want them, I just got to go sooner.
Just don't send me any trades, Tony. I'm not going to accept them.
No trades.
I'll say this too, that like in this new drafting strategy, it really feels like wide receivers are kind of being neglected, because if you can get one good running back and then you get enough flyers, I think if your wide receivers are stacked, then you can be set.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Davante Adams just went to Mike at pick 13 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He was better than every one of the top running backs last year.
Mm-hmm.
We had so many injuries or whatever, but
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's like, that's why I like your draft so much, was like you didn't force to have a running back there. You got Tyreek Hill and then waited till the 2nd round and you get Cam Akers.
And I think it all comes down to where do those tiers start and end. Because if you are at a tier break and you're looking at the running back position and you're like, I'm not truly confident in these guys, the wide receivers have the value in that 2nd and 3rd round. Like even before, I know you guys were talking about Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas in the 3rd round to me is a great pick.
Yeah.
Yes, he has a lot of risk, but he also has a lot of upside. We've already seen him be an elite wide receiver 2 years ago. He was being talked about last year as potentially being drafted in the top 4 spots, and now he's going in the 3rd round. So did he really fall off that far to where he went from the 4th overall pick to the 24th or even the 28th or 30th? Did he really drop that much in talent? Or was it just the injuries last year and the situation kind of dictated his season? So I think the wide receivers in the 2nd and 3rd round have a ton of value, and especially getting Davante Adams at pick 13. That's just terrific to me.
And I'll say this too, therapist. If Julio Jones were to end up with Tennessee, Mike Thomas probably would have been my 2nd wide receiver that I would have stacked up on wideouts right there. Because I love places where there's less competition in fantasy football. Like, because you will get enough. We see it now all the time. All the rules favor the offense. Everybody has to go into prevent defenses. And then you can get a running back who can catch. He can get 15 points in the fourth quarter, just catching little dump off routes or whatever in fantasy football.
Sounds like Austin Eckler. Oh, you just described Austin Eckler.
Yeah, Eckler's a good player to target there. Yeah, I like Eckler too.
I put him in the first round just as a ego flex.
Yeah, Chargers. Yeah.
Elijah Moore went last, huh? Okay. I like it. I think Elijah Moore, like we were talking about the Jets, and I know you're in that area, therapist. Is there a lot of hype on the Jets? Should we be taking more Jet players than what we've seen so far?
I think, there's not that type of hype to where they're going to be like a really good team. I think a lot of people that I've talked to that are fans are feeling a little bit more optimistic. I think what we're going to see from the Jets is more of a tactical approach. They're going to really use Zach Wilson out of the bootleg. I know their running back room is kind of shaky. They're going to be using all of their guys, they said, pretty much on the field. So we're going to see a lot of different players put it in different spots. For the wide receivers, I think if you could figure out which guy, whether it's Denzel Mims or Elijah Moore, could be the wide receiver one there, that's pretty much a steal. I mean, you're getting the wide receiver one on a team in rounds 12 to 13. That doesn't really happen often. So you're pretty much setting up your team to where if one of those guys hits, you're pretty much getting value on that pick. So overall, I think Jets fans are a little bit more optimistic. Of course, there's a few more pieces that they need, but things are looking up in New York with Zach Wilson there potentially being the guy for years to come if he's that quarterback that they were hyped on before the draft.
That's a good take. And like you're saying, if you can pick out that wide receiver one, whether it's Mims, whether it's Moore, whether it's Corey Davis, some people think it's going to be Corey Davis. Jameson Crowder was very usable last year as a fantasy wide receiver. Definitely a usable flex from time to time if you needed it, or wide receiver 2 on emergency weeks. So getting a guy like Elijah Moore, getting a guy like Corey Davis, or getting a guy like Denzel Mims late in the draft, it's worth the risk.
Denzel. I just like that name, Denzel. Is that wrong? Is that wrong if I like that name, Denzel?
Denzel. No.
Somebody's asking us to grade the teams. We got to do it real quick because welcome to the war zone. It's going to start up pretty soon.
We got to go one by one.
We can't let people miss out on that great show. I heard the co-host on that show is really, really good looking.
Yeah, the co-host, the second guy.
Am I not the co-host?
You're the host. I'm the co-host. So thank you for the compliment.
Oh, crap. Either way, let's start with Tony's team. We already talked about it a little bit. We'll start with your team, Tony. Therapist, you can jump in anytime you want. But Tony took Christian McCaffrey. This is the part that everybody loved last week, right? When I was reading some names. DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, Edmonds, Travis Etienne. Let me see if I can try to read it this way. Odell Beckham Jr., Melvin Gordon, Smith went off the board. The running back, the old man, David Johnson, Jonnu Smith. Is this guy's name Chubba Hubba?
Chubba Hubbard.
Chubba Hubbard, right? Carson, because I was trying to think of his first name earlier. Carson Wentz, and then I like that pick in Marshall at the end. You guys, what are you guys going to grade this one?
I think I'm going to go with a C+. Like I said, it's a really strong start. The Edmonds pick kind of thrown it off. If you had Lamar there instead of Edmonds, I think easily that's approaching A territory. And then I'm not really a big fan of David Johnson at all next year. I don't really know what Houston's going to be doing with their running backs. But I think the theory that you had, at the start was really good, and the approach that you had could potentially win you leagues in the future if you nail those middle picks.
I'm not going to be as easy on you, Tony. I'm going to give you a D+, actually, a grade lower than that. And that's because you got those 3 guys. They're all studs and all great. And the rest of the guys are guys I'd want on my bench, to be honest, Tony. To be completely honest. So if one of those 3 guys go down, which we don't want to happen, but if one of those 3 guys go down, you are screwed. Really screwed, because you're going to be trying to trade your depth pieces to get another starter, and it's just all falls.
Don't let him talk to you like that, Tony. I want to give you a B-, Tony, because I like
He's just trying to get some Friday Night Wars votes.
You guys have been voted already. Go to Friday Night Wars video and vote for Joe. It's easy. I don't put people down like Mike has right now.
Tony already voted for me for my golf swing.
Get out of here, Tony. Let's go to number 2. Tony, you don't get to grade your own team, so you don't get to grade your own team. Clock Management, who is the guest on Welcome to the Warzone tonight in just a few minutes. Kevin is saying you guys are mean. And then Dodger Joe said, give him a D. Oh, he said, give him a D. Clock Management took Cook, Waller, Calvin Ridley, Mostart, Galladay, Lockett, Fournette, Brown, Zach Moss, Madison, Mooney, Trevor Lawrence, and Slayton.
I'll go first in this one. Go ahead, Tony. You're already on screen.
I was just going to say the wide receiver is a little light for me, and the quarterback's a question mark. But I like the depth at running back. So can we put the team back up there real quick?
Do whatever you want, Tony.
This is probably a C to C plus team for me. Like there's too many long shots with a rookie at quarterback, and the running back there. Like I said, there's potential, the depth's there, but it's still just based on potential at that point. And wide receivers, Galladay's got to stay healthy. I'm going C to a C plus.
So this is the problem with drafting 1 and 2 is that you get that one good player, but then you're waiting the whole time. Is that what you guys are saying?
That's what I was saying earlier. Tony was kind of in a terrible situation where in round 4 he needs a running back really bad, and there's nothing great available anymore because he had to wait 20 picks from pick to pick.
Yeah, I think I'd give this team a B. I really liked their wide receiving core, actually. I thought it was a stronger than their running back core. I'm not a big Mostert fan. I think he has a lot of question marks with his health. And then, like you said, the quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, we haven't seen him on the field yet. As your only quarterback, that's kind of risky. Of course, we think he's going to be really good, but you never know in year 1. So outside of that, I like his tight end. I like his wide receivers, but the depth at running back and the quarterback is kind of scary.
All right, let's move on real quick to my team. Yeah, Nick Chubb, Najee Harris, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Rodgers, Jerry Jeudy, Michael Carter, Jarvis Landry, Hunter Henry, Cole Kmet, Baker Mayfield, and Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley!
You drafted 2 QBs, Joe. What's your thought process behind that in case Aaron Rodgers holds out?
If somebody gets hurt, I got another one. I always in real drafts, I draft 2 QBs. I do it all the time. I do it to begin the season, and I might drop one later on. But I always start with 2 of almost every position. 2 tight ends, 2 quarterbacks. I always do it for some reason.
Okay, I like your team, Joe. I like your team. Let me see here. Nick Chubb, that's obviously going to be your solid star player for the entire year. I think Najee Harris is probably the most reliable rookie available to go and get, so I like that pick. Still a little bit of a risk. Justin Jefferson, I'm on the fence about. Adam Thielen had a little bit of a down year last year. Dalvin Cook was hurt some of the time last year. I don't know if Jefferson can replicate what he did last year. At least it'd be really hard to replicate what he did last year if the offense is loaded up again. I like CeeDee Lamb. I'm gonna go B, solid B, right in the middle.
So this one was actually one of my favorite teams. I'm gonna give it an A-. I really like the start with the running backs and wide receivers. I'm a big Jefferson and Lamb guy. Kupp as a wide receiver 3. I'm not super high on him, but you got him as your wide receiver 3, so hopefully he could really do some damage. The big question mark, of course, is the tight ends, but you took 2 late tight ends. As a Patriots fan, I don't know what to expect about Hunter Henry. I like him, but of course he's going to be mixed in with Jonnu Smith. So outside of that, I think you have a really strong team there.
There you go.
You can't draft 2 QBs and 2 tight ends and have an A draft. This is a B. It's a B. Rodgers.
Yeah.
Rodgers, give me a 10. A 10.
Come on, a 10. Give me a 10.
Give me a 10.
B to a B plus. Rodgers returns to MVP form, and I'm a big fan of Nick Chubb. I think he's the safest, most consistent to be in that top 5.
Let me just say, drafting early didn't hurt me, huh? It didn't hurt my team. No excuses there at number 3.
I think
Seven has number 4. Kamara. I don't know how people say it. I say it Kamara. Edwards, Michael Sanders there in the round 3. Miles Sanders. Robert Woods, Thielen, Russell Wilson, Kyle Pitts, Juju Smith. Oh, Juju went that late, huh? Tom Brady, Lindsey, Cohen, Crowder, and Rhaegar.
He's putting a lot of investment into CEH and Miles Sanders to hold this team up because he's going to be weak at receiver. He's going to be weak at tight end. I know Kyle Pitts could come out and be generational, but what are the chances of him doing that his rookie year? Even if he has a good year his rookie year for a tight end standard, I don't know if he's really going to carry your team. But he does have depth, so that is one good thing. I'm going to go C+ or B-. Just I'm scared to have CEH and Miles Sanders and have most of my stock in those two guys.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think, like you said, I'm not a big fan of Thielen next year. I think he was a little touchdown dependent. His tight end Pitts, of course, if Julio gets traded, he becomes a little bit more interesting. But like you said, he's a rookie and you're investing in that. I think Miles Sanders and CEH both have potential, but they're both risky. So it's going to be interesting how this team would play out in a real draft.
Probably I'm at around a C+ for this team based on the Tom Brady.
He glitched out, but he's going for Tom Brady. The Tom Brady pick.
Yep. I don't know what's up with Tony Tucker, but I like his face, though. Can we get him like?
That's a nice image.
Dance Revolution.
So Tony's good. Tony's gone. Real quick, we got to go through these teams like real quick because I don't want to kick back the time of Welcome to the War Zone. Real quick, we did the 4 teams. I'm sorry, we're not gonna probably get to all of them. We go to your team real quick, therapist. What did I do? So we got who do we got? We got Tyreek Hill, Akers, Mahomes, Cooper, Amari Cooper right there. You got Williams, the running back from Denver, Sutton. So you doubled up on the Denver offense. Chase, you got Jamar Chase, James Conner, Tony Pollard, Irv Smith, who I like Irv Smith, Henderson, the running back right there. So you got Akers running handcuff. You got Mims and you got Higbee. So you loaded up on Denver and Rams, right?
Yeah, that kind of how it played out.
This is my favorite team in the draft. Therapist, I really like this squad. Like, if this was my team, I would feel like championship running into the season. One, because I love Patrick Mahomes. I just never have the guts to draft him. Feels early. But yeah, I feel good about the running back situation and receiver. As long as Amari Cooper is Amari Cooper, this is probably my favorite team on the board.
Yeah, you pair Mahomes with Hill, and then what I really like is you loaded your bench up with guys that have some trade value, guys that you can use to leverage and make your team even a little bit better. Guys like Irv Smith, guys like Tony Pollard. Whoever has Zeke probably wants their hands on Tony Pollard. Even Jamar Chase and Denzel Mims, all those guys have value for you to potentially upgrade your team if a guy like Javonte Williams doesn't work out or one of your risks that you took there. So I like the team. Solid A.
There you go.
Those are your words.
Your first Monday mock draft. You did an awesome job. We're going to be doing this every Monday, guys. Every Monday on the Warzone Sports Network. Every Monday we'll be doing it. But we got to run because Welcome to the Warzone is coming out next, and we want you guys to catch that. We want you guys to watch that. Therapist, thank you for coming on. We'll get you back on next week if that's cool or whenever you're.
I'm excited. Thank you guys for having me.
Mike, any last words?
60 seconds. Welcome to the Warzone. I'll see you guys in the live chat.
Tony, any last words?
Nope. Let's get out of here, Joe. Play that funky music, white boy.